I definitely want to take audience questions. I don't know how much time we have.
That's awesome. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm glad you can make it. I hope you're having as much fun as we are.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, you're welcome. And I want to thank you for being such a good sport through, dare I mention it, Best of the Best.
Awesome.
Yeah, this question is actually for Matthew. Speaking of Full Metal Jacket, what scene in that movie required the greatest number of takes to shoot, and which scene required the least number of takes to shoot? And how do those numbers compare with any other scene you shot for any other movie?
And as an actor, he will know those answers. He always will remember those best.
The only thing that we shot one take of was the Vietnamese girl being shot. They put a tremendous number of bullets on her body. I think there were near 50 bullet hits on her body. And she was a Vietnamese refugee living in London. And Stanley was so excited when he saw the dailies on it, he asked me to run down and get Leon Vitale, who had worked with Stanley Kubrick for about 30 years, to bring her up to show her the take. And when she watched it, she wept, and she wept until she shook and that she couldn't stand. And Leon took her from the room, and Stanley didn't have the heart to ever put the bullet hits on her body again. I wouldn't assume what she felt by seeing herself being shot, being a Vietnamese refugee, but that was the end of that. So that was the only one take in the film. We didn't measure things by numbers of takes, but by days or how many weeks. In one case, how many months that we had shot a scene. I think the longest scene in the film begins with me, with Arliss Howard, a wonderful actor. Have you ever worked with Arliss? Yeah, he played Cowboy, and Dorian Harewood, who played 8-Ball. And he comes up and he says, Cowboy says, we're here and we're supposed to be here. They're lost. I'm looking at the map. And I come up and I say, what's the matter? We lost. And he tells me to shut the fuck up. And from that was the beginning of the scene. The end of the scene is when we all finally move into where the sniper is. We were at that wall for over 8 weeks. Yeah, that is an extraordinary amount. That's all. What a lot of times the films that we work on today are shot in 8 weeks, and that was a scene in the film that might be, 2 or 3 minutes of screen time. Now, in defense of Stanley Kubrick, and I think that because there's a lot of filmmakers in this room, when did we quantify art? Would you go up to Picasso and say, how long did it take you to make that painting? How many strokes in that painting? How long did it take you to write that song, Ludwig? So why do we say that? Why do we have this kind of this time issue on film, other than money? So what we have the ability today is both of us have talked about with the cameras that are available to us. We have the ability to take the time that is necessary to tell the story, to make a film. Throw out the clock. Time is not something real. Time is something that we invented anyway. Imagine going up to an alligator and saying what time it is. What time is it? Or a giraffe, or an elephant.
Time to eat you.
Yeah, or a fly. They all have different senses of what time is and what a lifespan is. Ask a mountain what time it is. Thank you.
There's a great story about Picasso that I love where, I don't think you probably all heard this, but shortly before he died, he was accosted in an art museum for a painting on one of his paintings. And the guards didn't know who it was. And they said, Mister, we're going to arrest you. And he was like, well, I was never done with this one. And they were like, oh, you're Picasso. So it just goes to show, you can't do that with a movie, obviously, because it's up there on the screen.
I know there's some Eric and I would like to go back and have another shot at.
Yeah, many performances finished.
Yeah. Can you name one?
No, well, I don't know.
This one's for Eric. And Eric, I want to thank you for being so accessible to independent filmmakers. Hats off to you for that. I reviewed a movie that you were in for Creative Screenwriting Magazine probably about 10 years ago called La Cucaracha, which was one of the most incredible performances that I've ever seen. You're laughing, but I just thought.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm wowing.
I just thought it was brilliant. And my question is, do you ever? I mean, there's got to be some negatives associated with doing a lot of independent work, and to my mind, it might be that if you do a really kick-ass performance, that could be Oscar-worthy, but maybe it just goes below the radar, doesn't get the attention it deserves. Does that ever bug the shit out of you?
Only after the fact, because you don't make a movie to like win an Oscar, but then when you see it and go, wow, like Cucaracha, excuse me, but I'm good in that.
I want to see it.
And I watch it and go, I'm so good. Nobody will ever know. Wow, that's depressing. And it is a little bit, because you really give a lot to be good. And when you hit it, you're so proud. And, okay, everybody look at this one. Where's everybody going? So yeah, sure, it's disheartening, but it's only after the fact, because as you're doing it, you're in love with a new girlfriend. You don't think about anything else but your part. And am I right? Yeah, you're like in love with her.
On that note, I want to ask a question to both of you. Is there, like La Cucaracha, is there a movie that you did that you think audiences should re-explore or rediscover, a role that you think might be kind of buried under the... Okay, well, feel free. I'm just dying, because these people will go out and rent them, and I will too. And
Yeah, I made a movie with Alan J. Pakula and Albert Finney and Kevin O'Connor called Orphans.
Yes.
Kevin Anderson, excuse me, and thank you. One guy. Thank you. I love you.
That would be awesome.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful play. It was just on Broadway with Ben Foster playing my part and Alec Baldwin playing Albert Finney's part. Yeah.
Different casting.
A little bit different casting. Yeah.
Orphans.
Orphans. Yeah. When the film didn't open, the studio went out of business. On our opening day, we went to the premiere of the film, and the theater that we were going to have the premiere at was closed. Yeah, it was really depressing. Yeah, and
that can hurt a guy's feelings.
Yeah. The guy that produced the film, there used to be a really famous restaurant where they had big Oscar parties over here. I can't remember what it was called. In the 80s, when everybody went to that restaurant. It was
Sardi's?
No, not Chasen's, not Sardi's. No. Spago, yeah.
Restaurant.
And
Lila, what's in the restaurant,
the
Lila?
producer stood up in the restaurant in front of everybody and said, "Modine, Orphans is a great movie. Nobody's going to see it, but it's a great film." And I wanted to crawl up my own orifice. Yeah, that's my one.
Okay.
Yeah. The other one is Equinox, Alan Rudolph film, where I played twins in the film. And I did get nominated for a Independent Spirit Award for the film, and Laura Flynn Boyle is in the film, and it was wonderful.
Oh, we love Laura.
Yeah. It was and Kevin J. O'Connor was in that one. Kevin, yeah. A good picture. Fred Ward.
That's a great cast, dude.
Yeah.
That is a great cast. Eric, you want to name something?
Oh, if I start, I get frustrated.
La Cucaracha is, come up here.
Well, La Cucaracha.
You're welcome.
Here's my wife.
This is Eric Roberts' wife.
My wife, my manager, my roommate, my boss.
Okay, door on the floor, but neither of these guys was in it, but it's fantastic.
Oh, the door on the floor. Jeff Bridges. Oh my God, it's incredible. Nobody saw it.
I saw it.
It's My Party didn't get seen enough. It's My Party for that genre of movie is my favorite of the whole bunch.
No, you're just Stacy. No, sit.
What else? It's My Party, La Cucaracha, Heaven's Prisoners. You never got to see probably.
Heaven's Prisoners.
Yeah, Heaven's Prisoners. I play a badass.
You're good at badass.
Yeah, I play a lot of them.
Is that, I mean, do you just love that? Or?
Yeah, I do, because I'm not really.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a martial artist. I'm kind of a pool player. I'm kind of those things, but I'm hardly a badass.
Do you crave playing like a goofy character?
I would love to play goofballs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, casting people. Listen.
Like the Pope of Greenwich Village.
Oh my gosh, my mother took me to see that when I was like 13. In the big on the big screen. But it's
That's
I mean, I
an
was.
example of a movie that didn't get seen a lot at the beginning.
It was great.
Later
It
on.
became a cult classic on video, yeah. It was not a hit in the movie theater.
Well, that was a hit in New York. The summer wind came morning, you know, I mean,
It's a classic amongst film lovers.
cut your finger off.
Mhm.
Oh man!
My
Oh,
mom.
oh man! You gotta see this movie.
That was better than any
man!
any airport has ever done for Eric. I'm gonna tell you.
Every airport I'm ever in, I hear, "Hey Eric, you got your phone?" Yeah, for some heart attack.
But police officers do offer him a free ride everywhere in Manhattan because of the Pope. They're like, hey, Wally!
Hey Eric, get in the car, get in the car.
Can I remind you, you forgot to say something that you wanted to say about the Lincoln Club?
Oh yeah. I forget them.
You wanted to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I like tell my wife this on the way over, and she said, "Oh, you have to remember that." And goes, "I forgot it." It was the Whipping Club. This book is not about religious people going wrong. It's about wrong people going religious. And when I said that, she says, "Oh, you have to say that in the thing." And I goes, "I forgot that."
Is Adam still here?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, and that's such an important point to make, so that's why that's why this was, and also, you worked with a 10-year-old kid who apparently we just heard was cast with no audition. Adam, is that true?
I hadn't heard.
Oh.
Anyway, this kid's going to be a movie star. Yeah.
He was
He's gonna
cast
be a
in
real
something.
movie star.
He's the other, there was just two of them in the living club.
No, I know, but you said the little boy
He
is.
was cast apparently with no audition. He was cast just because, just his presence in the room, and he really does have something magical.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was here last night on the red carpet.
Oh, cool.
Also doing brilliantly there, so
Wow.
we can all go home. He's 11.
How do you prep that, working with that age kid in that kind of scene?
You just walk on the set and you say, "You do everything I say." Okay, kid? No. You don't prep that. You just have to roll with the punches. You have to go with it.
More questions?
Come on.
Zach, one last question, please. Zach, one last question, please.
Okay. I have a question, and this applies to everybody, for both of you. Actually, all three of you. Because you're part of the panel now, too. What advice do you have for, well, you're actors, but I also see you as filmmakers, for filmmakers who are just kind of getting out of film school, or maybe thinking about going to film school? What advice do you have for them? Because you've had longevity. I'm imagining you've had longevity too. So I don't know your.
I had more longevity than these you. Well, I'll begin.
Yeah,
you guys
please.
to think, because I am on the other side of it. Also,
Yeah,
I'm an
please.
actress, but I also coach, and I'm also a casting
Okay.
director. And now it's wonderful. You can make your own films.
Let me just interject some. She's coached everybody from George Clooney to Halle Berry to me. In fact, I go to her every time I'm doing anything, and she coaches me. And she's really, I am married to her, but she's remarkable.
Oh my gosh. What did you